Good morning. Here we are on the campus of Stratford Academy for the weekly coaches show. I'm John. This is Graham over here, and that's Coach. And these are four young student athletes who excel at football and also making good grades. I hope so. So we're in championship week. Yes, we advanced to the championship, took down George Walton, jumped early, and just kept the pressure on the whole game. Um, I'm going to let Coach introduce these four young men that he brought with him today, and then we'll get to the questions.
Again, great win for us. These guys played superb football for us. It was kind of a blur for me all night long, and really didn't have to go out and call a good defense or offensive game because these guys were ready to play. And we could tell in the locker room right off the bat that they were locked in and they were wanting to get to this championship game. Offensively, we got Tucker Johnston. He actually had 9 carries, 28 yards rushing, a touchdown. He was 8 for 13 and 104 yards. Total offense, we had 252 yards and 4 touchdowns. And, a lot of that's on the quarterback managing the game and making sure we're in the right position. Did a great job. Defensively, Jet Johnston, he had 7 tackles, 2 assists, and an interception. Made some big plays for us. We're glad we got him back there at free safety. He's kind of one of our leaders on defense, knowing how to get people lined up and making big plays for us. Lineman of the week's a new guy right here, TJ Travis Duger. He actually had 3 tackles. He had a batted pass plus the interception. It was a great play. It was a big play during the game. That's one thing that we're concentrating on defensively during the playoffs and the whole year. You've got to have turnovers. We got to cause turnovers. Did a great job. We got another new guy here today, scout guy Nick McCullough. Nick is actually a freshman. He's playing a little bit of linebacker. Every single day he's in the locker room working to help these guys get ready to play on the field also on Friday night. But I just appreciate Nick and all what he does for the football team.
So, Coach, this has not really been a year without a certain level of adversity. You lost 2 games in a row, obviously good teams, but you lost 2 games in a row, and then you lost probably your best player with Tyler Stevens going down. How did the morale? How did you manage to just keep the morale where it needed to be?
That's a good question. And you're right. We had a lot of roadblocks this year. And, whether it's dealing with players, whether it's dealing with games and so forth, this and that. But, our guys we didn't go on the detour. We stayed on the same path. We went through the roadblock. And that's kind of something that our coaching staff did a great job of preaching each and every week. We got to stay on the process. We got to stay on that road. Don't get off of it and just let's see what happens. And the players did a heck of a job doing that.
Well, let's talk about home field advantage because, we're in the press box. We can hear what the fans are giving to the football team. I think that you guys can probably hear too. But talk a minute about what the fans mean to you, what the band needs to you that just makes a tremendous amount of noise throughout the game.
I mean, football is one of those enthusiastic, passionate type games. I guess that's what you say. I don't know if I'm using the correct words, but I mean, and it's exciting, and it's supposed to be that type of game. Our players feed off of that. They feed off of noise. They feed off excitement from the fans, and that's something we got to have each and every game. And I'm just looking forward to our fans showing up Saturday night at 6 o'clock and for the championship game and be ready to go. We're ready to be loud and proud.
Tucker, I'll start with you. George Walton. What did George Walton show on defense that we were able to take advantage of in the run game so well?
Their defense was solid. I feel like they let us get the edge a couple of times, which allowed me or the running back to take advantage of that and take off and run. And great blocks up front, so we were able to run. I feel like solid the whole night.
Seems like these this game and the game against Calvary, you made a lot of scramble drill plays. I know John asked about the big TD run you had against Calvary. How do you know? How do you know when to take off? When does that? How long is that internal clock in your head?
I mean, it's different almost every time. Sometimes probably should sit back there a little longer and see and wait for somebody to come open, but sometimes I just take off. So it's not always good, but sometimes just kind of feel like I need to take off, so I take off.
So let's talk to Nick a little bit. Nick, you're a freshman, and what that tells me is if coach is bringing you in here, he thinks you're going to be a pretty good football player. What's it been like sitting and watching this team and knowing that as a freshman you're going to a state championship game?
Oh yes, sir. I'm definitely very lucky to be on this team. Getting to experience all these great players. It's just a lot of fun getting to help out the team.
So you get to tackle. You're a linebacker. You get to tackle some pretty good people at practice. What have you learned is the key to tackle someone like a Tyler Stevens or Tucker, people like that?
Gosh, those are two pretty fast dudes. They're hard to tackle. You just got to track that near hip and run as fast as you can. Get low.
Now I have one more. I hear you. Are you an actor or are you a football player?
I'm definitely a football player. I feel like Mr. Carr kind of tricked me into doing it.
And Mr. Carr is on the other side of the camera right now, but please come see Nick in the Broadway production, or it's not a Broadway, it was a Broadway play of Legally Blonde, and we were talking about that earlier, and you're playing a very important part. Are you excited about that?
Oh yes, sir. Y'all got to come.
TJ, George Walton seemed to be like a run heavy team, but it seemed like when we got ahead, they had to sort of switch to passing more often, like a pass heavy. And it seemed like we were able to get a good push on the line. How important was that to preserve the lead and not giving not giving any leeway?
Very important. Coming into this defense's this gap scheme that we run is very different from where I came from. But having guys like Maddox Whitehead on the other side of the line, I knew I had to pick up my play coming into it. So what I did was I just went to the game knowing I had to use my strength, my athleticism to get to the gap. Punish 44, who was in my face most of the game, so we could force them to throw the ball because we know we got guys in the backfield that are going to make plays when it's time to make plays.
How did that big interception feel?
It felt amazing. I really didn't even process it too much. I just gave the ball to the ref, but when it happened, I was just trying to not give up a big play. I didn't want him to scramble and throw it, and they get something big. I wanted to stop it right then and there, and that's what I did. I stopped it right then and there, and I caught it. I had to make sure that it was in our hands, so we had great field positioning to score right then and there. To go ahead and seal the game away because this state championship means everything to me. I wanted to get that spot right then and there, win right then and there, and make sure that they had no hope going into the next few plays.
So, Jet, you were cheating a lot in that game. Let's just be honest. You were cheating. You were at the line of scrimmage instantly. Did you just didn't think they were going to throw the football, or were you just reading the play very well, or what? Because I remember in the first quarter, the only name I was calling was Jet Johnston, Jet Johnston, Jet Johnston.
I'd say when Coach Carroll and us, we like to run a lot of man. And so when we're in man, I got a guy I'm assigned to. When I instantly see him go down the block or goes out to block somebody, I know then it's a run. So I'm able to get to the line quick and get near him for the running back or quarterback, whoever's running the ball, and get the play quick.
So you were quick. So let's talk about legacy a little bit. You're playing at Stratford in a field named Cantrell Stadium, which is your grandfather, in case anybody didn't know. Your mom, one of the best athletes ever to come out of Stratford. Your dad, one of the best athletes ever to come out of Stratford. And now you have the opportunity. Your dad won state championships, but Haven't won a state championship since 2004. I'm sure you guys have heard that. What does this game mean to the legacy into the school?
It means everything, and especially for the team who's worked so hard all summer. I mean, we've put in countless hours of work to get to where we're at, and there's no other team in my mind that definitely deserves it more than we do. And just being able to play on the field every Friday night means a lot to me. So, and I'm really glad I got to do it with the guys I got to do it with.
And how about playing at Mercer, which is named Five Star Stadium, which is basically your grandfather. I showed him a video a few minutes ago when he was like 6 or 7 years old and he was on the field and he didn't remember that. And you have played on the Mercer field before. Do you think that experience will help that you've played on that field?
I mean, it's super cool. Definitely just to go play at Mercer. Playing a college environment and stadium is just totally different. Playing on turf is different, actually. Just adjusting that a little bit, and then for the team to be able, as a team, to be able to go out there and play is really fun too. So.
Well, Coach Carroll, it's a state title game. We've heard what it means from a player's perspective. What about from the coach's perspective?
I mean, heck, we were guaranteed one more game. That's basically what it is. We're guaranteed one more game, and every kid, high school football player right now in the country always wants that last football game to be their state championship. Well, guess what? Coaches are the same way. And we've got this opportunity to do it with all these guys. And these guys have been working for basically almost 2 years to get to this point since I've been here. And I think our goals are still out there because right when I first got here, the main thing that we said we're going to be playing for the state championship because we're working in the weight room. We're doing the right thing to get there. Now we're there, so let's go win it.
One more question, Coach. Based on what we saw at homecoming to now, how has Brookstone changed very much in their offense? Like, what have you seen on film leading up?
They have. They've changed a little bit. They actually trying to run the football a lot more. The first time we played them, they tend to get in spread formations. They tend to try to throw the football a little bit more. But now what they're doing is they're getting behind those big old linemen they have, and they're going 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, and then they try to throw the little hitches here and there, and then all of a sudden they'll come back and keep trying to run the football. Defensively, I think they're about the same. The thing that we've got to do is we've got to play physical. It always comes down to that. I know that's a cliche that every coach talks about, but I really believe that everybody has watched our games for the past couple of weeks. That's something that we've been doing as a defensive unit is hitting somebody, and that's what we got to do Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
Sounds good to me. Come out to Five Star Stadium and support as we go try to win a state championship against the Brookstone Cougars. But before we go, 1, 2, 3, Eagle!
Pride!